Okay, let's completely rethink how we look at our daily nutrition. We all obsess over calories, right? We're constantly counting our carbs, our fats, our proteins. But minerals? Well, they contain 0 calories. Yet these tiny, invisible 0 calorie elements are quite literally the biological spark plugs keeping you alive every single second. Without them, your heart wouldn't beat, your muscles would completely freeze, and your blood couldn't even carry oxygen. To make sense of the 15 plus essential minerals your body actually needs, we're going to organize them by their biological day jobs. We'll cover 1. The invisible sparks of life, 2. The structural heavyweights, 3. The electricians and fluids, 4. The specialized trace workers, and finally, 5. The Goldilocks rule. All right, let's jump into section 1, the invisible sparks of life. So, what is an essential mineral, really? Well, they're inorganic elements. And because they don't actually give you energy the way a carb or a fat does, it's super easy to just kind of overlook them. But think of them like the spark plugs in a car engine. They don't provide the actual fuel, but without them, that engine is absolutely not turning over. They are strictly required to power chemical reactions, build up your bodily structures, and transmit cellular signals. Moving right along to section 2, the structural heavyweights. When we hear the word calcium, we immediately think of bones, right? And for good reason. A staggering 99% of your body's calcium is locked away, right this very second, acting as the concrete structural foundation for your skeleton and your teeth. It provides the sheer physical tensile strength you need just to hold yourself upright. But here's where it gets wild. It is that remaining 1% that's truly fascinating. This tiny, tiny fraction circulating in your blood is so critical for nerve and muscle excitability that your body will literally strip calcium straight from your bones to maintain it if your levels ever drop. That 1% is running the show for blood clotting, cellular processes, and making sure your muscles actually contract when your brain tells them to. Partnering closely with calcium is our next heavyweight, phosphorus. It works hand in hand with calcium to build up that bone structure. But phosphorus actually has a really cool dual identity. It's a fundamental component of ATP, which are basically the microscopic energy batteries your cells use to store and transfer power. And on top of that, it literally forms the structural backbone of your DNA and RNA. Rounding out the heavyweights is magnesium. This is the ultimate biological multitasker, involved in hundreds of biochemical reactions. Think of it this way. If calcium is what causes your muscles to contract, magnesium is what allows them to relax. And that perfectly explains why a deficiency is felt so heavily. Without enough magnesium, you experience widespread tension. We're talking muscle cramps, tremors, deep fatigue, and in severe cases, even abnormal heart rhythms. Let's transition to section 3, the electricians and fluids. Now, sodium gets a pretty terrible reputation in the wellness space, but let's be clear. Your body absolutely needs it to regulate fluid balance, blood volume, and nerve impulses. The real issue is simply that modern processed foods totally overload our system with it. Potassium, on the other hand, works in direct tandem with sodium. They are the yin and yang of your biology. Potassium maintains the electrical gradients that allow your heart to beat properly and your muscles to actually function. Within this fluid and electrical group, we've also got the hidden helpers, chloride and sulfur. Chloride teams up with sodium to maintain your acid-base balance, and it actually helps create the hydrochloric acid in your stomach so you can digest your meals. Sulfur is super interesting because it acts as the primary building block for protein structures. It's largely what gives your hair and nails their physical strength. Picking up the pace, let's look at section 4, the specialized trace workers. Probably the most famous trace worker is iron. It's our crucial oxygen carrier required to produce hemoglobin in your red blood cells. Dietarily, it comes in 2 distinct forms. You have heme iron, found in animal products like red meat, which is highly absorbable, and then non-heme iron, found in plant foods like spinach and lentils. A deficiency here leads to that classic crushing fatigue because your body is literally struggling to transport oxygen to your tissues. The crucial takeaway here is that each trace mineral has a highly specialized gig. Zinc is your immune and repair specialist, vital for healing wounds. Copper works right alongside iron to form red blood cells. Manganese activates enzymes. Iodine acts as the master thermostat of your body by controlling your thyroid hormones, which regulate your entire metabolism. And selenium acts as a biological shield. It's a powerful antioxidant protecting your cells from damage. We're talking tiny amounts, but massive impact. But we really need to pause here for a second.
You have likely seen elements like chromium, boron, or silicon pushed in flashy, expensive supplement ads promising massive health boosts. Well, the science is much more nuanced than that. It is critical to understand that these elements are not established as essential routine nutrients for healthy humans in the same way as iron or calcium. Just because a trace element exists in the human body doesn't mean we need to constantly supplement it.
Which brings us to the climax of this explainer, Section 5, the Goldilocks Rule. Minerals follow a very strict Goldilocks principle. The goal is not to consume as many minerals as humanly possible. The goal is to get the exact right amount. For example, excessive zinc can literally block your body from absorbing copper. Too little iodine harms your thyroid, sure, but excessive iodine disrupts it right back. Over-supplementation can actually cause toxicities that are just as dangerous as the deficiencies.
So this begs the ultimate question, the one health and wellness influencers absolutely love to debate. Do you actually need to be taking a handful of daily mineral supplements? Well, for most healthy people, the answer is simply no. A standard, varied diet that includes vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, dairy, and proteins automatically provides this entire broad range of essential minerals in the exact right balance your body expects. Your food is naturally fortified by the earth itself. Now look, if you are feeling constantly fatigued or having weird muscle cramps, don't just guess and buy a random supplement off the internet. Because symptoms like hair loss or tiredness can have dozens of root causes, doctors use a strict step-by-step diagnostic process. They'll review your dietary history, perform a physical exam, and run specific blood or urine tests to actually confirm a true mineral deficiency before they ever recommend high-dose supplements. Let's zoom out and look at the big picture here. Minerals might be microscopic, but their jobs are absolutely enormous. Whether they're acting as the structural heavyweights building up your skeleton, the trace workers carrying your oxygen, or the electricians transmitting your nerve signals, these zero-calorie elements are the silent operators keeping you alive. So as you go to plan your next meal, I want to leave you with this question. Are you truly fueling your body's microscopic workers with the varied, healthy foods they need to thrive? Or are you just blindly supplementing? Remember, when it comes to the invisible sparks of life, more isn't better. Balance isn't just a buzzword, it's biology.